4 Things WWE Got Right on Raw. WWE teases Gunther retiring 2 more legends. Becky Lynch saves Maxxine Dupri after botch on Raw. Tensions rise between Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. Top NXT stars reportedly set for main roster call-ups. John Cena buries ex-WWE star out of jealousy? Let's get started. 4 Things WWE Got Right on Raw. WWE Raw quietly flipped the switch this week. Even though the episode was taped, it felt like a turning point as WWE begins closing out the year. Major storylines moved forward, standout performances stole the show, and several championship matches were officially locked in for Raw's upcoming Netflix anniversary. And after weeks of criticism aimed at the product, Triple H finally answered back. The result? One of Raw's stronger outings in recent memory. Not everything landed perfectly, but the creative direction was sharper, the pacing improved, and several decisions clearly energized the crowd. Here are 4 things Triple H absolutely nailed on WWE Raw this week. Number 4. Making Maxxine Dupri feel like a real champion. When Maxxine Dupri captured the Women's Intercontinental Championship, plenty of fans questioned whether she was ready for that responsibility. This week, Triple H erased those doubts. Dupri stepped into the spotlight opposite Becky Lynch and didn't blink. Her promo was confident, intense, and packed with attitude, exactly what a champion needs. WWE gave her the time to stand toe-to-toe with one of the division's biggest stars, and she rose to the occasion. She didn't dodge the challenge, she embraced it. And making Becky Lynch tap out on Raw was a massive statement. This was the clearest sign yet that WWE sees Maxxine Dupri as more than a placeholder champion. Number 3. Austin Theory pinning Rey Mysterio. Austin Theory's momentum hit a new level this week. Coming off last week's unmasking angle, Theory teamed with Bronson Reed in a high-profile tag match against CM Punk and Rey Mysterio. And when it mattered most, Triple H made a bold call. Theory pinned Rey Mysterio clean. Pinning a Hall of Famer like Mysterio instantly elevates anyone, and for Theory, it was the perfect way to re-establish him as a serious threat. That win alone reshapes how fans view him moving forward and positions him as a dangerous presence on Monday nights. Number 2. Fixing the Women's World Title chaos. The Women's World Championship scene has been crowded and messy. With Nikki Bella and Raquel Rodriguez both gunning for Stephanie Vaquer, the title picture needed clarity. Triple H delivered it by making the obvious but smart move. A triple threat match. Vaquer will now defend her championship against both challengers on the final Raw of 2025. It keeps all 3 women relevant, avoids sidelining anyone, and instantly raises the stakes. Triple threat matches thrive on unpredictability, and that's exactly what this rivalry needed. Number 1. Letting Gunther soak in nuclear heel heat. Gunther continues to be WWE's most effective villain, and this week only reinforced that. After disrespecting John Cena last week, the ring general returned to Raw and doubled down. His promo was short, cold, and intentionally aggravating. He also continued mocking AJ Styles, drawing even louder boos from the crowd. That reaction is the point. WWE has successfully turned Gunther into a public enemy, and that's invaluable heading into 2026. Anyone who stands across the ring from him instantly becomes a hero, setting the stage for massive babyface moments and long-term storytelling. Triple H didn't just book a solid episode of Raw this week, he corrected course. And if this momentum holds, WWE may be ending the year on a much stronger note than anyone expected. WWE teases Gunther retiring 2 more legends. Gunther isn't just beating legends, he's ending them. And on Raw, WWE strongly hinted that 2 more icons could be next. The ring general stepped onto the pre-taped December 22nd episode of Raw as public enemy number 1. After forcing John Cena to tap out, Gunther doubled down on the disrespect, openly mocking the so-called GOAT and calling him a little b. This week, he didn't need a long promo. His presence said enough. That silence didn't last long. World Heavyweight Champion CM Punk came face-to-face with Gunther, teasing a massive rematch that felt inevitable. The tension was thick, unfinished business written all over it. Then things escalated. Rey Mysterio hit the stage and teased a potential showdown, with WWE subtly planting the idea that Gunther could be the man to finally retire the legendary luchador. Moments later backstage, AJ Styles confronted the ring general once again, telling him he talks too much. Gunther's response? A laugh, and a chilling tease that both Rey and AJ could be added to his growing list of legends he's put down. While Gunther hasn't re-entered the world title picture just yet, it feels less like an if and more like a when. He's held that championship twice, and revenge on CM Punk is clearly on his radar. WWE may be delaying that collision for a reason. On January 5th, during Raw's first anniversary on Netflix, CM Punk is set to defend the World Heavyweight Championship against Braun Breaker, a match that could completely reshape the title scene before Gunther strikes. And for the second straight week, WWE continued teasing Gunther vs. AJ Styles, notable considering Styles is currently one half of the World Tag Team Champions. One thing is clear, Gunther isn't just chasing gold anymore, he's chasing legacies. Becky Lynch saves Maxxine Dupri after botch on Raw. Things nearly went off the rails on Raw when Becky Lynch and Maxxine Dupri came face to face, and somehow the man ended up saving the moment. The tension between Becky Lynch and Maxxine Dupri has been boiling for weeks. It all started when Maxxine shocked everyone by beating Becky for the Women's Intercontinental Championship, thanks in part to AJ Lee getting involved. Since that loss, Becky hasn't held back, taking every chance she gets to verbally torch her rival. That bad blood exploded on Raw when the two met in the ring. What began as trash talk quickly turned physical, with fists flying and chaos breaking out. Maxxine took control by locking in an ankle lock, but when she tried to drop down and apply pressure, the move completely fell apart. In a split second, Becky had to adjust, rolling to her stomach to make the hold look brutal and keep the moment from crashing and burning. It was a subtle save, but one that prevented a messy botch from stealing the spotlight. Raw got heated, things got sloppy, and once again, Becky Lynch proved why she's one of the best at thinking on her feet. Tensions rise between Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. Things are officially falling apart between Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, and Raw made that crystal clear. What started as quiet tension exploded into a full-blown ringside and backstage confrontation, and it all traces back to one bad decision. Earlier this week on Raw, Roxanne Perez went one-on-one with Bayley, with Liv Morgan firmly in her corner. The original game plan was simple. Liv chases the women's world title while Raquel and Roxanne focus on the tag team division. But that plan completely unraveled when Raquel forced her way back into the women's title picture. Now, Rodriguez is set to challenge for the championship next week in a triple threat against Stephanie Vaquer and Nikki Bella, and that move didn't sit well with Liv. During Perez's match, Raquel showed up and ended up distracting Roxanne at the worst possible moment, costing her what looked like a guaranteed win over Bayley. Liv snapped. She dragged Raquel off the apron, chewed her out at ringside, and chaos followed. With the distraction gone, Bayley regrouped, Lyra Valkyria fired her up, and the veteran shut the door on Perez for good. The drama didn't end there. Backstage, Liv and Raquel went at it again, making it clear this wasn't just about one match. This was personal. The fallout sent shockwaves through the Judgment Day. Finn Balor and Dominic Mysterio could only watch it unfold, while JD McDonough was nowhere to be seen. And let's be real, Raquel jumping ahead of Liv for a women's title shot likely poured gasoline on an already burning situation. What's interesting? Liv Morgan and Roxanne Perez appear more aligned than ever, despite WWE teasing tension earlier involving Dominic Mysterio. Liv and Dom are solid, Roxanne looks locked in with them, and Raquel now feels like the odd one out. How the Judgment Day handles this fracture could change everything, because when egos collide and gold is on the line, alliances don't last long. Top NXT stars reportedly set for main roster call-ups. Saturday night's main event didn't just showcase NXT talent, it fast-tracked careers. Obafemi, Sol Ruca, and Joe Hendry are now being lined up for WWE main roster call-ups after blowing away a much larger audience than the usual NXT crowd. Their reactions were strong enough that WWE reportedly moved up the timeline on all three. This comes shortly after Trick Williams officially made the jump, with Jevon Evans also expected to hit free agency soon. According to Dave Meltzer on Wrestling Observer Radio, the key factor wasn't just performance, it was who they performed in front of. When these names connected with a mainstream audience watching for stars like John Cena, perceptions inside WWE shifted almost instantly. Sol Ruca scoring a win over Bayley raised eyebrows, Joe Hendry's presence landed exactly as hoped, and Obafemi, despite still holding championship gold, is already being viewed internally as a future main event player. The takeaway? These call-ups were always coming, but once these talents proved they could get over outside the NXT bubble, WWE stopped waiting. John Cena buries ex-WWE star out of jealousy? As John Cena wrapped up his final WWE run, the narrative was nothing but praise. Wrestlers and staff flooded social media with stories about his leadership, mentorship, and professionalism backstage. But one former superstar just shattered that feel-good ending. David Otunga claims Cena treated him differently behind the scenes, calling out moments where he felt singled out and disrespected. According to Otunga, the issue wasn't personal, it was insecurity. What makes this even more interesting is the split reaction. Stars like Finn Balor and Roxanne Perez have gone on record saying Cena was one of the best mentors they ever had. Total opposite experiences. Booker T brushed Otunga's claims off entirely, saying no grown man should be framing things that way. But Rene Dupree offered a much more explosive take, suggesting Vince McMahon was a huge fan of Otunga. He was smart, Harvard-educated, and looked like a top star. And that, Dupree believes, may have sparked jealousy from Cena. The theory? Cena felt threatened and quietly buried Otunga in front of the locker room. So far, John Cena hasn't responded, and at this point, it doesn't look like he ever will.